are here because the outside world rejects you.
I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice.
Come on, let's get nuts. This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
I made a bunny. Come on, Peter Tingle. Here we go.
What's up? What's up? What up?
Welcome to an all-new Nerdz II Men. I'm listening on my phone and stuff, so I messed it all up.
And you told me quiet on the set.
I know, but I was just trying to make sure that it was sounding good, and then I messed it up.
Yeah.
I flubbed. That's the beauty of a live show. Hopefully people are not like, oh my gosh, I'm out of here. I'm out.
Okay.
They're already messing it up. You know what I mean? I'm Brad Reed. I'm joined by my homeboy, Cameo.
What's up?
What's up? Do the kids say homeboy anymore?
I don't think so.
Nah, they probably don't.
I think it's like homie or something like that.
Homie.
I mean,
yeah.
you can still say your homeboy. I think it's more of a generation thing.
Right.
Depending on when you grew up.
My home skillet.
Yeah.
Like people just started throwing everything after home, right?
Right.
My home camera? No, I don't.
No.
I'm just looking at stuff in my home TV.
My home videos?
Yeah. That's the stuff that you don't want people to see, right?
No.
Well, welcome everybody to Nerdz II Men live on Facebook. Not live for everybody who's watching on YouTube after the fact and or listening on their podcasts such as Apple, Google, Spotify. What else, Cameo? There's just so many.
There's a lot. And
as we've mentioned a couple of times, we've got a way for you to listen to them ad-free, if that's the way you want to go. If you're like listening, you know, and you're into the convo, and then all of a sudden they drop an ad on you, because we don't get a pick when necessarily. I think there's maybe ways we could tailor it, but we need to get this show like a lot more formatted for that. But
right.
But anyhow, if you're like, man, I just want to listen ad-free, then we got a way. You go to patreon.com/dopepods. It's super, super easy. Sign up. Right now it's at, don't sign up yet though. Maybe go this evening, okay? If you're watching live, because I need to change it over. We got a big announcement. We're going to let everybody sign up for $1 a month. You get all of our podcasts a little bit early, released to you a little bit early, and then also ad-free. Did I say ad-free, Cameo?
You did say ad-free.
Patreon.com/dopepods. And what we will have coming up soon, since it's $1 a month, that's, you know, you could get a year of it for $12. That's good. That's cheap, right? Everybody got that stimmy, so load up on your favorite Patreon.
And then
pods.
tax return?
Yeah. Yeah, you got the money. No, I'm just kidding. But so the little Krang kind of style logo of me and Cameo that you see, we put it on everything now. Yeah, that's it. We're going to get some t-shirts made of that, and we'll probably do, like, if you get a year, $12, and then the t-shirt, we'll do it all for like $15. How's that sound, Cameo? Pretty
$3 shirt?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So we'll have to get the most garbage, cheapest shirt. No, I'm kidding. We just aren't going to make paper. We're not going to make a profit, but you know how cool it would be to see people walking around with the Nerdz II Men and that logo that our boy Derek Sharp made for us?
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
So that's what's up.
Get it while it's hot.
Yeah, we'll have that up really soon.
Because, you know, inflation happens, and you just never know.
Yeah. It starts becoming where we don't have the time to mail out millions of shirts, so we have to raise it to $20 a shirt.
Yeah.
Get it now.
While it's hot.
Yeah. So that's coming up, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We are going to spoil a bunch of stuff, Cameo, today. So hopefully everybody's had time to either watch the Falcon and Winter Soldier and or Snyder cut. But we're going to we'll start with the Falcon and Winter Soldier today. So
yes,
if you haven't seen episode 1, this will be the time to be like, hey, I'll maybe check in a minute and see if the headline above us says Snyder cut yet, or, you know, that's how you tell. And of course it always says spoilers. So
yeah, right there.
Yeah. All right. I want to jump into Falcon and Winter Soldier first. And by the way, everybody, I see some comments here. Chris Midyay, we ain't kids, bro. Did I call somebody a kid?
You always call somebody a
kid.
The
kids. Is that what the kids are saying? Homeboy.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Midyay, then, you probably are questioning it just like I am. Like, what do the kids say? And now we're trying to help. We're trying to provide a PSA. So, right on. So let's get into Falcon and Winter Soldier. And as I say, comment along.
Forgot Mr. Swice says, sup.
Oh, what's up? Yeah. Cameo, I'm going to leave it to you to I'll steer the show with my notes here, and you kind of check out the comments. How about that?
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So I want to go... First of all, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, or it's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right?
Right.
God, that's a long title.
Forget. No. Do you want to know the longest title?
What?
Don't be in Menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Yeah, I'm glad that we don't have to put that up in the captions right now.
Right.
But I left off the first but that's okay. Falcon and Winter Soldier, you had told me that this was originally scheduled to be the first show on Disney Plus. We got WandaVision instead, and you mentioned because it was going to be, so close to Doctor Strange is a new movie, and they wanted to set up a few things. So we're getting this one, and this one makes sense like that it would have been the first one because it's action packed.
Mm-hmm.
And,
it kind of
more like the Marvel movies.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the Winter Soldier movie, the Captain America. Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Right.
Like right off the bat, it was just straight action.
Which I watched again last night because that one is one of my favorites of all the movies. Two couple things I noticed about that one though. Not enough Winter Soldier in that. We just get to barely scratch the surface of the Winter Soldier. It's more, there's a lot more to do with Fury, which watching that again, like, the scene where he's in the car and they pull up on him, the police, and then they smash the car and they're shooting him. And and he's blasting them back. So
that was pretty dope.
That made me like, ooh, I want to see this Fury show. You know what I mean? So, but that was in the Winter Soldier movie for those of you who are watching along. So the other thing, though,
we could say that it was Fleek. It was on Fleek.
Oh yeah.
No, that was funny because Chris Little Person said Fleek is what the kids say these days. He said everything is Fleek.
Do they?
Just like the Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah. The Winter Soldier is Fleek. I think he's feeding us ones that they don't say anymore, though, to make us look like the nerds to grandpas.
Right?
Yeah. Which I shaved my beard so I wouldn't look like a grandpa.
Yeah. Yeah, you look like a baby, man. You got a baby face Brad. That's your new name, man.
Yeah. But, with the funny thing about if you haven't seen The Winter Soldier, you really need to watch that if you haven't seen it even recently. Go watch it before because you get to see the first time that Sam meets Captain America. He gets the first time, right, when he's coming up, they're just jogging together. They didn't meet in any movies previous, right?
Right.
Okay, so, and then you see the first time that Winter Soldier and Falcon meet each other, so that was all cool to go back and watch that. But back to the show, it still fits in with that kind of theme and those action sequences, and starts with a great one where Sam has his Falcon suit and he's in hot pursuit of these flying squirrel guys. But it was fun. That was a really fun sequence there that I'm sure was pretty green screened, but it was I like that. Yeah.
But I mean, what else could you do with that? Like, there's no way that anybody would actually survive if they had to do that in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, forget the Falcon having wings and stuff, but like the whole flying squirrel outfit, like there's no way people could do that without, running into a mountain like they were doing.
The one thing I wondered to the wings that Falcon uses, and I noticed in Winter Soldier last night was how did he just get to keep them? Because did everybody in the military that was in that special program get to keep theirs?
I don't know.
Or is he stealing from the government? Maybe that's why he doesn't get a loan.
That's what I was about to say. Maybe he couldn't get a loan because that's your loan right there. You got the wings.
Yeah. That's like the people who are mad, and we'll talk about more about what, about that later, but people who are mad, like, why didn't Tony Stark pay them? It's like, he gave them those wings. Or, no, he didn't give them those wings, though, but he upgraded them, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's
but,
not nothing.
I kind of feel like Iron Man should have paid him. Well, I mean, it's like you don't get any type of incentive other than gadgets.
Well,
I mean, that's cool.
And the reason
we're pay the bills.
Yeah, the reason we're bringing that up is because after all the action dies down, which by the way, there was that great scene where he flies through the helicopter.
That was so dope when he grabbed the hostage.
Yeah, and then he throws somebody out of the helicopter. Oh,
yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, he threw a couple because they were in their little flying squirrel suits too. So yeah, that was good stuff. But so we see him, and the basic gist of this story is the same as WandaVision in the fact that this picks up after kind of a dark time for everybody. Mm-hmm. Sam has been gone for 5 years, then comes back, and then. Tony Stark's dead. Captain America's old as hell. Which somebody posted a picture too of Captain America at 106 and Bucky, who we find out is like 100 and something years old.
106, yeah.
And they were like, well, why isn't he as old as like Captain America looks when he's that age? Because he goes back in time and then gets old.
Yeah.
And somebody was saying, well, Hydra might have frozen Bucky in between,
Yeah, they did.
Well, yeah. So it maybe kept him young, whatever. It's just a show, but
right. I don't even think that's even really possible. I think if you freeze, you die.
Yeah. So. But we find Sam, it kind of delves into what he's doing now, and he's gone home to reunite with his sister, and he's checking in on the family farm, the family boat, which him and his sister own now because their parents are gone. And, there's no money. She's about to sell everything. So, he's a good guy. He wants to help. He wants to fix things. So he's like, hey, I've got good credit. Let's go to the bank. And they go to the bank. And they're like, yeah, you don't have work history for the last 5 years, And he's like, but you recognize me as an Avenger. Wanted to get my picture.
Right. I'm a good guy.
You can't put two and two together. Yeah. Right. I'm surprised they weren't like, well, can you not get who's rich in that world now that he's friends with? Stark's gone. But just cosign.
I can't think of.
He could get a cosign, from the government.
Yeah. Chris Stum just chimed in. He said, "What's up, bros? Not much." Yes, we are talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier. So.
Yep.
But
go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, like I was saying, I'm a good guy. I'm going to pay you back. But then when he was like, well, can I get a picture with you? Mm-hmm. I would have said, yeah, for a loan.
Yeah.
Either delete it or I'm going to have to fly you up to the sky and drop you. I mean, I could be a bad guy too.
Right.
I mean, I can see it,
It was an interesting little part of the story, though, to show, it really humanizes them, because you would think, oh, man, these Avengers, they walk around, they probably get free dinners, they probably get this, and they probably do to a certain extent in this made-up world. But when it comes time to go get a loan, like most people are able to go do, he can't. And there might be other societal reasons why, not good ones, that he can't. Yeah. There's a lot to read into that, right?
Right.
And so then we meet Bucky, who's also not doing great. He's alone. Mm-hmm. He is having dreams about the past things he did, which I thought was cool to get to see him like that again. Oh man, I totally forgot, because I was going to wrap my arm in tin foil.
Oh, okay.
And do a Bucky cosplay today since I shaved, and I forgot. I forget. Oh, it's under my sleeve, and I have a skin.
Yeah.
Glove one, so
kind of like a Terminator type deal.
Yeah.
You
get it.
I got it.
But
it's new Wakanda tech. It's cool.
Yeah. I love it. But Bucky, he's talking about, he mentions Wakanda too, doesn't he? Like That was where he
so.
finally got a little peace.
Right.
Yeah. But he's going to therapy and stuff and living alone, like we said, kind of alone in the world. Captain America's gone. And, you know, the therapy stuff was pretty interesting stuff, too, because just to see how he's reacting to everything. He's got a chip on his shoulder.
You know, real quick, because, you know, he's basically going to the psychiatrist, talking about, you know, past things that has happened. And she asked him about that nightmare that he had. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like with the crazy thing that's going on right now with all, oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. With Asian hate, stop the Asian hate and all that. Like, he ends up, that's the one person that he kills is a, like, you know, innocent bystander. He just kills an Asian dude.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then now, you know, he's trying to make amends with the father and all that. And I just find it kind of, you know, coincidental. Yeah. You know, the Asian hate is happening and then or stop the Asian hate. And then, you know, he ends up killing the innocent Asian person. And, you know, I was just like, man, what is like, I kind of feel, I mean, I know it, like I said, it is probably coincidental, but
yeah, I would think it would be.
But I feel like, maybe, you know, movies be doing stuff.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Watchmen show, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely think there could be. I just don't know. It seems like it would have been a different kind of scenario if that's what they were going to kind of throw some attention to. Not the guy who is eventually going to be the good guy. You know what I mean? Right. But he is trying to be a good guy. Like you said, he's trying to, but of course, the dad doesn't know that he's the one. So it's also kind of like a weird thing because he's front row to the guy's pain, but he caused it. Right. Because did he cause it, or is he like dreaming that he was the one? You see what I'm saying? He didn't. I mean, obviously. But no, because the guy told him the story about his son, like when they were in the bar. I don't know, man. Right. Yeah. No, I think. So he knows. That was when. Yeah. I think that he, you know, with with those words that made him, you know, make him a sleeper agent. Right. He knows what he did. He just couldn't stop it. Right. Right. I kind of feel like this storyline right now is kind of like the Spider-Man 2 Tobey Maguire version, where he tells Aunt May that he killed. Basically, he was the reason that Uncle Ben died. Right. And I kind of feel like this is that storyline that he's been living with this guilt for years, and he's going to have to tell Yori that he was the one that killed him. Oh man. And I think that's like, you befriend this dude's dad and you're going to have to tell him that you killed his son. Like that would probably be the hardest deal. Like, you shouldn't even try to be friends with him. You should just say, hey, I just want to apologize. There was a real dark time in my life. Right. And I killed your son, you know, in cold blood. Yeah. But again, he didn't have any control of it. So he should just let it go. And he's probably going to make it worse by trying to make it up to the guy. You see what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. Chris was saying that how can they do Steve dirty like that? Well, we'll get to that when we get towards the end. Actually, let's get to it. Okay. Yeah, let's get to that part. But real quick, he also said that the therapy was hilarious, the whole therapy session. Right, it was. And he was saying it was an excellent storytelling of how trauma can affect someone. So, it was. And then the way they filmed it was very, like, they started using like a lot of film techniques, like, you know, the way they showed him, like the shadow was on his face, like, you know, he's in the shadows and it's not good. He's not in a good place. The lady he's talking to, like the light's kind of more on her, so she seems more enlightened. Then like the extreme close-ups on him to really show you like the emotion. the realism of it. It was really good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, like for a moment there, I'm like, man, this is not a comic book movie right now.
No.
This is like an actual like film.
Well, that's the Winter Soldier. It really seemed like it really seemed like not as much a comic book movie as much as like a really good action movie. Like lots of fight scenes, lots of car chases, just really, that one is why I think I latched onto that one more so than some of the others. Plus, like Captain America in Winter Soldier the movie, I thought it was kind of like a little punk because like there's the part where he comes in and Black Widow is downloading the information. He's like, "What are you doing?" And she's on a mission. She was sent there by Nick Fury to do this. And it was right after he fights this guy, and so he's got this guy down, right? And he comes over there to talk to her, and he's getting on to her like, "You could have jeopardized the mission." So that dude that he didn't make sure was still down and out jumps up, throws like a grenade or something, and she's like, "Oh, that's my fault." And he's like, "Yeah, it is," and I'm like, "No, that really was your fault, bro.
You should have knocked him out harder."
Yeah, you were guarding him. That was your guy. So, and then like later on, he's pressing her for information, and he's like roughing her up. And I know she's capable of defending herself, but like, where does he do that to other people? You know what I mean? Like, I never see him like rough up Nick Fury.
All right.
And then Nick Fury had that classic line.
Nick Fury don't play.
Yeah.
Nick Fury don't play.
He had that classic line of the last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye.
Right.
And then we find out.
And it was the cat.
Yeah.
It was the cat. Like, what's funny is that he's still is still going on with that story. I know it's like years later, but it's funny how if you hadn't seen Captain Marvel, you wouldn't have known who took his eye. You would have thought maybe,
unless you saw the action figures.
Right. So, but yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah. So Captain America's gone, and I figured the way that this show was going to start would be with Sam as Captain America, like him taking over the mantle, right? Because he had the shield.
I kind of felt that way too, but also I kind of didn't in the fact that at the end of Endgame when Captain America or Steve Rogers said, "How does it feel?" He's like, "Well, it feels like someone else's." So I kind of figured that was going to happen. It was going to happen, but not towards maybe like midway through the season or at the end of the season.
Right. So I mean, I kind of like I like this. If it's going to work up to that, that's good. I'm enjoying that. But they debuted, because he did give the shield up, to the Captain America Museum, and they debuted a new Captain America who looked like a total nerd in his. Yeah,
he looks totally goofy.
He kind of looks like me though, now that I've shaved, because I saw the picture of the actor who's playing him, and I was like, oh, I know him from stuff, but without the beard, I was like, ugh. But yeah, he does look goofy. What's his name? Is it Marshall something? John Marshall?
John Walker.
John Walker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a liqueur.
Right. Oh, real quick. Chris Dom said when we were talking about Nick Fury, he says, where do you think we'll see him pop up again?
In his own show.
Yeah. You don't think he'll make a cameo appearance in this?
Yeah. Well, yeah, probably. I think it'll be probably later, but
I feel like will, because
he's going to show up to introduce the X-Men
in this.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see.
That's my theory. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I was like, hey, we'll see.
I'm just going off the fact that everybody's got the the WandaVision still, where we were making all the predictions. That was more like, to me, that was more of a mystery. To this one, I don't really feel the need to like try to come up with big theories. I'm just I'm along for the ride, because that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's an action ride.
I hope we get some more, because we saw Don Cheadle in this first episode. I wonder if we're going to get, more people from there, or is this going to, start, getting us ready for what's the Armor Wars?
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. Ooh, armor.
So I'm wondering if we'll see more people in armor. Maybe Gwyneth Paltrow come out in her rescue outfit.
I don't want to see that. I mean,
dang, Brad, I thought I was the only woman hater here.
No, it's just that it's Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, she doesn't.
You don't want to see
me.
Gwyneth Paltrow?
I mean, she's at home making beauty lines and stuff. And I'm not saying that's what she should be doing. That's what she is doing, right? What's that brand she's got? Know. Yeah. I don't know. But does she strike fear in your heart?
No, of course not.
Okay. I'm not saying it's because she's a female. It's just she's Gwyneth Paltrow.
Bruh.
Now, I want to see Gwyneth Paltrow. I like her. Mm-hmm. But I don't. If Armor War, if you tell me she's the star of Armor Wars in her armor, I'm going to say that I'm a Snyder guy and I'm only watching HBO Max from now on.
She's going to be a big part in that.
Not
she
a big part. Not.
Yeah,
but like
she's over Tony's stuff.
Well, yeah. And that's where she should stay. In an executive
Wow, Brad,
level.
You just told her to stay in the kitchen.
No, I told her to stay in her executive director position, not flying around in an armored suit.
Hey, Brad, you said just shut up and cook.
Oh, my God. From the queen of podcasting over here, Cameo, the queen of podcasting.
Oh, gosh, Brad, that is so messed up.
You're stupid.
Oh, wow. But anyways, yeah.
Hey, if you're the guy who greenlights that, then you'll be the one that. That's fine.
No, but anyways, John Walker, yeah, he looked totally goofy in that outfit.
And I read, because that was the end. It was just like boom, and of course you see Sam like, oh my God, I can't believe that I gave that back, and now that's how they do me.
Shoot, that's what what's his name? Rhodey was saying. He was like, why would you do that? That's stupid. I mean, he didn't say it in those words, but
right. Yeah.
Just like, why?
Yeah. And then we do see kind of Falcon and Winter Soldier parting, kind of coming together, right? Like at the very end. Mm-hmm. So their paths are now crossing, and from here on out, we're gonna see where the rest of this takes us. Not like a real villain just yet, though, right? Not like a clear cut
as
one.
of now, no.
So still that, I mean, who knows? Let's make our predictions of who the villain will be. Mephisto,
Nightmare, Apocalypse, Magneto.
Yeah. Magneto. That's my pick. Because they've got all the like, if Falcon has his Falcon stuff on, and Magneto's like, nope, that doesn't work anymore.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did see the people that were fighting over who would win between Magneto and Iron Man. Mm-hmm. Pretty interesting.
I just feel like if it was just no prep time,
right,
Iron Man would lose. Like you can't. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people say, well, Iron Man has done this, he's done this, yada, yada, yada. Totally fine. But if all of your suits are of iron or metal, I'm pretty sure Magneto would just crush you like a can.
Yeah.
Just as easy as that.
Yeah, probably so. If you had no idea what was coming.
Right. But anyway.
All right. Well, yeah, go ahead.
But Chris said can't have Captain America without superpowers.
See, so that's what, is he just a symbol, or have they given him some powers? What's going on?
I don't know.
That'll be the interesting thing.
I haven't read the Sam Wilson Captain America's storyline at all, but I heard somewhere that he ends up taking like a super soldier serum, but I don't know. I honestly do not know. If anybody in the comments can let me know.
Right.
Please.
So is he saying that that Sam won't become Captain America? Is that what he's saying? or that the new guy can't be Captain America, like for real Captain America.
I'm not sure.
Or both.
Chris.
Because I was wondering.
Please elaborate on that.
I was wondering, like Falcon, if he does become Captain America, he doesn't have any powers. So how does that work? So the serum would be.
What's his name? Chris. Sorry, Chris. He said that I was correct, that he does end up taking the super soldier serum.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's cool.
So maybe these I forget, was it, I can't remember what the black mask or whatever they were.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering if they have like a super soldier serum that they're using.
Probably.
Or what?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he ends up getting, and then starts wreaking havoc.
So you think in the next episode we'll get more of Falcon and Winter Soldier together?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
I hope so. Like, let's get this going.
Yeah, I was honestly hoping that when I woke up on Friday that I checked Disney Plus, 2 episodes were going to be out.
You're always disappointed. Always disappointed.
I was like, they did it with WandaVision. Why can't you do it with the Falcon and Winter Soldier?
And Loki's next, right? Loki comes out probably a couple weeks after this one ends.
No. Supposedly, at the end of this, we're going to get Black Widow if it doesn't get pushed back.
Oh, yeah.
And then after Black Widow,
that's going to be in the theaters.
Then I think the following month is when we get Loki.
Okay. All right. Sweet. Well, we still got a bunch of stuff. I mean, Mortal Kombat's coming up.
Yeah. Godzilla comes out this week. No. Next week.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Can't wait for that.
So, good times. You ready to jump to the Snyder Cut?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
So,
oops, I forgot to put this back there.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways.
The Snyder Cut, the Justice League, 4 hours on HBO Max. So we're going to break it down hour by hour in real time. So 4 hours long starting now. But for one thing, the people that were complaining that it was 4 hours long, my 2 things that I would say to that is, yes, there is a whole lot of like just slowed down scenes to be so dramatic. Like, there was one of those I saw in Winter Soldier where he gets thrown out and he's in the water, and that's good. That's good. In Justice League, there was a million of them. Now, I don't mind it though. It didn't bother me. Yeah. I don't mind it being a long movie. I like long movies kind of because you get a lot more story if it's good. Now, if that stupid Whedon cut had been 4 hours, I'd have that. In fact, the Whedon cut at 2 hours still feels longer to me than the 4 hour Snyder cut because there's so many bad parts in it.
Yeah, I honestly and truthfully, I said this to our boy Ackright that they should have just let Zack Snyder deal with his family issues, put the movie on hold, and then let him finish it.
Well, yeah,
fit it, because you can't have 2 visions on. I mean, I guess you could on WandaVision, but no, you can't have 2 different styles and visions for a group of heroes. And think that it'll mesh well, because if Zack Snyder was on like totally shut down from his business life, like I'm pretty sure Joss Whedon couldn't go back to him and be like, hey man, I mean, I know you're dealing with family issues. What did you want to do here? So Joss Whedon had to take it upon himself, which was the worst idea ever. And made it, crappy. Like I'm sorry, that was like he ruined Justice League.
He did, and I know he did because everything that was gone that he did, I hated. Like when I saw that, okay, because I wasn't exactly sure. I didn't realize how much of this movie that Snyder had already had filmed and done. And so he had already had 4 hours shot, basically. I mean, there was Martian Manhunter scene and the Joker scene were only 2 things I think they shot that was new. Everything else was already shot and done. And then you get, like Steppenwolf. he was still in the Whedon cut, but he looked so much cooler in the Snyder cut with that armor and so like everything that Joss did, they were like, the studio said, hey, this needs to go from 4 hours to 2 hours, and Snyder was like, and then they brought in Whedon to do some rewrites. And then what happened with Snyder, and he had to leave, and so they gave it to Whedon, said cut it to 2. And that's Whedon cut out like the heart of the movie and then filled it with a little bit of blood that he thought would give it, enough life to be a 2-hour movie. And it sucked. I mean, the Batman scene on the roof where he's talking to Alfred in front of the guy that he's using for bait to lure a parademon. Stupid. The cinematography in that, though, for a minute, I thought that was a Snyder scene, and I was mad at Snyder. That was really the only thing that I was like, man, that sucks, Snyder. But the cinematography of it, I kind of looked a little bit like what he would do, and I was like, man, I just wish he'd make just a Batman movie. But then the way it unfolded, I was like, ugh. And then like the Russian family and all that side business, no. Instead, with the Snyder cut, you get a pretty good glimpse into every character and what's going on with them, instead of just some clumsy, ham-fisted smashing them together,
Right. Yeah, like you were saying when we were talking about this on the phone, and I totally agree with you. Like I felt like this movie was more centered around Cyborg.
Yeah, it was.
And I like I told you on the phone, like I kind of feel like Zach knew that Ray Fisher wasn't going to be Cyborg anymore, so he wanted to give him a good like send off, basically. Which honestly and truthfully, because I did hear there was a rumor online going around that WB might reboot the Snyderverse. Which I honestly hope, and if that's the case, I hope he does bring back Ray Fisher, or if he's like even able to. Seeing more in depth of what was going on with each character was much needed. Like I love the Flash, his little deal. I also, I liked what's his name, Aquaman's. So I mean, getting more info on these characters was so much better. Right,
like you said, Cyborg. This was such a more satisfying story that we saw than the first one. The Flash, I liked it a little better, like the way he was in this movie. I liked it. He still was kind of goofy. He was more, what you expect from the Flash, but not so. Like that, there's that one scene where they're digging up Superman, and then there's like that weird interaction between him and Cyborg where he's like trying to give him a fist bump. He's like, no, racially charged. And I'm like, that doesn't even come off as a good joke. Like it's stupid. But in this one, it was a lot better. Like they weren't like Aquaman wasn't like really bullying the Flash in this one, and the Flash wasn't creeping on Diane. Like such a better representation of these characters for Snyder. So like a lot of people have said Snyder doesn't understand these characters. Diane didn't need to kill the people in the bank heist, the terrorists, and Batman doesn't ever kill, which Batman doesn't kill a whole lot in this movie, but Snyder doesn't mind letting Batman kill or cuss. And to those things I say, whatever, this is Snyder's interpretation.
And another thing too, it's these characters are based on the heroes that we love, the heroes and the villains that we love. Doesn't mean just because it's based on doesn't mean it's accurate.
Well,
I mean, there's several different storylines where okay, so like Iron Man, for instance, let's talk about Tony Stark. He was an alcoholic. Okay, So did Jon Favreau put that in the storyline? No. Was there an alcoholic scene where he was drunk? Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing is just like, it's based on the character. Doesn't mean it has to be, verbatim on how they act and how, basically everything that you read in the comics is what you're going to see on the TV or on the big screen.
And I just think, yeah, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
Well, I don't mean this to be dismissive of anybody who's like, that's not my Batman. That's fine. But the beautiful thing about this world
it's Snyder's
is exactly that's the thing. The beautiful thing is, if you don't feel like that's a good representation of Batman, go make a fan film, go write a comic, write your interpretations. Yeah, do that. Don't just gripe about it on Twitter.
I will say this: if people out there, if you have not seen Bat in the Sun's Batman fan film, go check it out.
Right.
It's legit.
Right. And then, the one thing I do get, though, is if they're like, man, these aren't my interpretations of Batman, and so I got to sit through a 4-hour movie, another 2.5-hour movie, Man of Steel, whatever. If we get another Justice League, that's going to be super long. So there's not a lot of relief for them other than the Matt Reeves, the Batman, and, our hopes that they do keep spinning off the side movies, too, not just this version.
Yeah.
But... yeah, so I do get that, but I'm just saying, like, this is Snyder's cut, and then people are like, man, it didn't have to be 4 hours. No, but if Snyder thought that, hey, this is my last one,
right,
and it's on HBO Max in 6 parts where you can definitely pause it and go do whatever, then why not throw the kitchen sink at it? Why not film a new scene with Batman and Joker because you didn't get to do a Batman and Joker movie like you really wanted to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
And probably every movie out there is 6 hours long till somebody cuts it down. Maybe not every, but you know what I mean? Like, everything's a lot longer than what we officially get.
Right. And Chris was saying that he would love a Martian Manhunter storyline.
Yeah. Dope.
Which I also would love. He kind of reminded me of the Supergirl's Martian Manhunter a little bit. Mm-hmm. The way that they designed him.
Right.
But yeah, I would love to see more of him. I just kind of find it, I kind of wish that they used him in this more as a hero, because Martian Manhunters is like super valuable, super strong.
Right.
So with him not being, present, but he is present, in the, United States Army. I just wish that, he came full throttle, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm just glad that we got to see him, the little bit that we did.
Yeah. We got to see Adam, the Atom.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't the Atom yet.
Right. He would have been if Snyder would still be doing this stuff.
So here's what I think, because Snyder, you hear everything, you hear one thing and then you hear another, and the last thing I heard, Snyder said there won't be a Justice League 2. So here's what I think. In the grand scheme of trying to, because this is what happened. This is why some of this has been just as quick as we can get it out, because they're trying to catch up with Marvel, who had the advantage of multiple movies setting up the Avengers, setting up characters. So they're starting from behind,
Mm-hmm.
But they could catch up real easily and probably bring a lot of joy to people like me. Start doing the shows. Let's continue this in the show. Nightmare, that's a show. Deathstroke, that's a show. The Atom, that's a show. Martian Manhunter. I know Martian Manhunter was on, but I'm talking about HBO Max, where they get to have an R rating, and because that's the thing. Snyder Cut, he doesn't care about the kids.
No.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, but this is for adults. The Marvel movies, they really want to be able to cater to all audiences. And that's why they brought Joss Whedon into this. That's why WB has ruined every Zack Snyder theatrical cut, because even the BVS, the Ultimate Edition, was like, oh, now it makes sense. Why do you keep trying to tame this guy when you just need to let him run free. And I think the best way to do that would be the shows now at this point. And that way we can get a lot more information, you know, maybe a dark side show, maybe who's the guy, Mr. Miracle, you know. Then you can get some more dark side information and material out there too. Right. So there's so many things that they can and should do. The Flash movie, I guess, I don't even know, but it's still part of the DCEU, the Snyderverse. So yeah. Right. And by the way, I wanted to bring that up real quick. So the Flash, and this is all spoilers, but he has the thing at the end where in order to keep the unification of the mother boxes from happening, he does what the Flash loves to do and like
ruin timelines.
Yeah. So do you think because he set it back even just a few seconds that he did, that caused like a flashpoint, and that's where we're going to get like the Bruce the Michael Keaton Batman and all that? Is that how they're going to, or is he going to do it again in the movie?
I don't know. That's a good thing.
That'd be cool though if they tied that to that part of it.
That would be kind of cool. But man, I kind of hope that they don't use this, what Zack Snyder did. I hope they do it for something else. Because you know, if you've watched Flashpoint, I mean, I know you have, Brad, but people that haven't, you know, he goes back to save his mom. So I kind of hope that, you know, they kind of keep it with that storyline, but I mean, you never know what they're going to do.
Here's what I think they're going to do. Possibly. He won't go back to save his mom because they've never really brought his mom into this. I think Lois Lane is going to get killed or, you know, if this was to get continued, right? And maybe the Flash tried to go back to save her and cause like a flashpoint, because we find out later on in that end scene when Batman and Joker are talking, or not, it wasn't an end scene, it was towards the end, and we find out a lot of stuff. You know, they're talking about the Robin that got killed, which we know is not Jason, it was Nightwing.
Oh my goodness,
Richard.
Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson, yeah. So that in Snyder's verse anyway, that's the one that got killed. And then we find out at some point between everything that's happening now, Suicide Squad 2, the nightmare that becomes what we're seeing in the later on after Darkseid has invaded and stuff, like Harley Quinn gets killed. You know, so it's a dark.
And I love that little dialogue between him and Joker.
Yeah, I did too. I did too.
He was like, the last breath Harley gave was for me to when I kill you. Yeah, that make it slow.
Yeah, and see, so people are mad about that, and they're mad. Some people were mad that he said, you know, I'm gonna effing kill you, right? Batman wouldn't say that. So this is, again, I don't know how much of it was really a premonition or a dream, but it was a dream sequence after all, correct?
Yeah.
It could be a legitimate flash to the future, like, you know, but it was a dream sequence. And I bet Batman dreams about telling the Joker he's going to effing kill him all the time.
Right.
Whether he says that or does it, I bet he dreams about it a lot. Right?
Oh, definitely.
So you know, why are we getting that mad about it? You know, I don't know. People on both sides. Some people have said that this is the greatest action or comic book movie ever made, and to that I'm like, that's too far too. I loved it. I didn't. I want to watch it again. I wish it wasn't in that weird format. I want to watch it in widescreen. Yeah. But I still loved it.
That was my only issue with it is I didn't like it in that format.
As soon as they release it in IMAX, I'm going to watch it.
We have to.
And I'll go watch the black and white version too.
Oh, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, because apparently that's how Zack Snyder like really wants to show it, is in black and white. Because
if you haven't watched Logan in black and white, you got to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not. I need to, huh?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it in black and white.
That'd be cool. Did you see on the Vision thing that they painted him blue for the black and white scenes because it shows up more looking like red in black and white?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was completely blue.
That's funny.
Yeah. So,
and if he was green, he would die?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm blue. If I was green, I would die. No.
Blah, 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 blah. So back to the Snyder Cut. I thought it was, I mean, again, what did you think? Was the 4 hours too long for you? Did it drag?
No, I'm telling you, if they made every superhero film 4 hours, I would love it.
As long as it keeps up the pace.
Right.
Like I say, just the original Justice League at the 2 hours was so boring. So boring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Yeah, if it keeps my attention, then most definitely, 4 hours is good. Shoot, I would watch something even longer than that. I mean, technically I have, because I've watched several different, superhero movies back to back. So, it's just, if it keeps my interest, then definitely. 4 hours, I think, was perfect for this movie. If it was shorter, I don't think it would have. I think it would have been just the same as the Joss Whedon version.
Right.
I think it needed to be this long. I think some of the scenes that weren't in the Snyder Cut, the scenes that were in the Whedon cut that weren't in the Snyder Cut made it so much better. One scene that stood out for me was when the Flash went to go visit his father in jail. There was that little incident between him and that guy, that big,
oh yeah,
rough looking dude, where he drew a funny mask on his face. I thought that was funny, but I like the version where he saved Iris.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
which at first during that sequence, when he slowed it down for a minute, I was like, when he touched her hair, I was like, creepy.
Right.
And then when he grabbed the wiener out of the air, the hot dog, I was like, why? Why? But then when we see after that, I was like, oh, okay, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, good stuff.
Because I was because I remember, him saying that he has to always carb load and always has to eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought maybe that was
me too.
His little deal, that he was going to eat it real quick.
Which seemed a lot more like something that Quicksilver in the X-Men movie would have done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, but then when what happened after that, then I was like, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So that it worked out. And that's what I'm saying. Some of the Joss Whedon jokes were but a lot of the Snyder jokes were understated enough that it wasn't too cringe if it didn't hit.
Yeah. And I think, and we're ragging on Whedon, and rightfully so. Don't get me wrong, I'm not easing up off of that, but Whedon came from Marvel and Disney.
Yeah.
Which Marvel's movies and comics are not as dark as DC.
Right.
So him coming over here to DC and trying to make light of certain situations, don't get me wrong, there are, a lot of comedic relief in some of the storylines in DC comics. But when you try to make the whole movie like that, you just ruined it. That would kind of be if Spider-Man became dark.
Yeah. Right.
So,
which a lot of people they kind of feel like Superman's too dark.
Mm-hmm.
Which I get, because Superman's, but what I really love about this one is you get to see just how Superman, everybody plays their part in this one. Everybody has a way to contribute in this one. And then Superman is just he's no match. Like Steppenwolf's no match for him. I want to see Darkseid and Superman fight. That'd be dope.
Yeah. You know, the one thing that I didn't really care for about Darkseid is that I didn't really care for his design that much.
Yeah.
Like when I see Darkseid, like I see what we see in the animated films. Like I see somebody almost like Hulk status, but bigger.
Yeah.
But that was one thing that I didn't like about the movie was his design. I felt like Steppenwolf was bigger than he was.
He definitely looked bigger on the screen, but that's probably because he got all those fight scenes and stuff, you know.
Right.
But yeah, so I loved it. I'm gonna watch it again, maybe right now after we get out of here.
I was actually watching it before we did this, so I'm gonna go finish it.
Nice. Well, Cameo, I think that brings us to a close for this show.
All righty.
Yeah, so we will be back next week with a brand new show talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 2. We'll have more nerd updates. We might find some Easter eggs in the Snyder Cut, watching it again. Who knows?
Yep.
Until then, I guess keep it nerdy, right?
And a smile on your face, baby.
Smile and put on a happy face.
Wakanda forever!
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
That was awesome!
Freeze all motor functions.